Hey guys, Sierra Bailey here with Accel Commercial Real Estate. The video you're watching ties into our event in June, Accelerate. If you want to learn more about what you see today, scan the QR code on your screen or click the link in the description to get your tickets now before early bird pricing runs out. Enjoy the video.
He actually came from the insurance adjusting world
I was an insurance agent.
and an agent,
Yeah.
but he knows how to get claims filed and billed. And that's really important when you're dealing with, if you're a homeowner, as a residential homeowner, you want to have somebody who knows how to do that interface. But from an investment standpoint, there's all kinds of twists that go into that. And with the commercial real estate, whether it's multifamily or whatever, you're not just dealing with one single type of product type, you're going to be dealing with all different kinds. And I'm gonna let him tell some of the craziest things he's seen. But tell us about Quality Exteriors. This is Bo Teague is a good friend of mine, and I refer him, and he has looked at my roof. So
Thanks, Jen, and thanks, Brian. Thank you all for having me here. Little background is I grew up here in Middle Tennessee, so I've seen the appreciation of properties, like the hard appreciation of properties. I grew up in Bedford County, Shelbyville, and I grew up in a family that is heavily invested in the real estate market. My grandmother, who is 85, was a past Tennessee Realtor of the Year at 81 and has several single family 40, 50, 60 houses. I have an aunt that's got 150 houses of all types. And why I'm telling you that is because I've seen it all. I've seen all the different types of homes. I've seen all the different types of rentals, from Bedford County to Williamson County, from East Nashville to Belle Meade. I've seen them all. And there's all different types. But the common thing is that they're all investments, and they all are relying on their capital to make those repairs in most cases. So kind of back up and kind of tie this in is I left the family business and got in the insurance world. And I realized that there were a lot of people that were unhappy with how the claims experience was going. And whether that was a single family or a multifamily, our job, we felt, was to help agents and agencies kind of mitigate that bad experience and help them. And along that way, we did some big houses and some multifamilies, and that's led us to where we are today. We're a family-owned company. My best friend owns a company, and his brother works there, and his mom. And we've been in the horse business for years together, so we're like brothers. And so I came to work with him, and we started growing this from a working relationship with different agents of residential, commercial. And what we found was residential and commercial was treated a lot differently. And we put together a team and have a team now of people that we have to bring in from time to time. But we're professionals in the claims management business as much as anything. Yes, we're roofers, and I don't look like a roofer, but I know how to do it. Grandfather was a general building trades instructor also, so I have a history there. But I really enjoyed helping people get the most efficient and the most equity out of their property, because it was really kind of a cool thing to see. I'm like, I really thought about that. And it happened on a property in Tullahoma that was a Section 8 property, and it was owned by a large national company, and went in and we got that thing covered by the insurance. It took about 6 months to settle it, but we when you first get that paperwork and that check, you think that's the be all end all. It's not really. They're going to posture, and they're not going to want to pay out what it takes to roof these multifamily properties, but just you asking and sending over an estimate. So that's where we've kind of grown the business now, and we're handling claims, $10-15 million now. And we are grateful that we do all different types of roofing, and we're grateful that we've had some storms through the area that give us the opportunity to do some of this and learn. But from Louisville to Huntsville, Memphis to Knoxville, Bristol. We pretty much run and handle claims for different people, whether they be hotel owners, multifamily owners, HOAs, COAs, which are condos and that sort of thing. Well, so we work with a lot of different people, a lot of different doors, and it's our job to make sure that your investment's getting maximized.
So could you talk about the different types of roofing? I know as a former commercial real estate appraiser, some of the hardest appraisal questions that we had was when we would go to houses that or investment pieces of property that were a hodgepodge. They'd have a rubber membrane here, and then they'd have an A-frame here, and then they'd have, you know, flat or what is it called when they go the mansard. So I mean, it would have every possible configuration known to man, and from a commercial real estate appraisal standpoint, that's a really big red flag for us. But what does that mean from roofing, and what are the dangers of that? If you're looking at it and it's a bargain and it's a great deal, talk about maybe what are some of the big pitfalls for that.
So, you know, like when Paul's talking about going into his checklist and looking at things, looking at the roof is a big thing, because if you're going to have to budget for it 4 to 5 years, I don't know if, you know, everybody knows kind of what the pricing, everything's done now, but roofing world has jumped by about 60%. And a lot of that too is because we don't have people that want to work anymore. I mean, we have a stressed and a strained labor force. We got to pay them more. My crews, we've had them for 8 or 9 years. So we're not just Pete in a pickup truck. We're taking care of, you know, several people and their families, so they stay with us. And doing that, I'm not going to be your local guy out there slapping on the black mammy, the roof patch or whatever you want to call it, that slumlords or whatever have done for years and years. That's not me, and I'm not going to do that, because at the end of the day, I got to be able to sleep, and I got to know that my people got to be able to sleep too and sleep comfortably, or they ain't gonna pay no rent. It doesn't matter, you know. You can get out of it, you get it short term, but at the end of the day, it's going to eat you on your equity. So we try to make sure that we get a lot of calls for people that are buying, selling. Hey, you go look at this. And it's not a home inspection report, because home inspectors or property inspectors are just, they're looking at everything. I'm going out there, I'm looking at the roof, telling you, yeah, what's there. And we also look to see if there's damage. So we look at all different types of roofing. And to answer your question, the most common thing you see are shingles. That's your 3-tab, your architectural shingles. That's what we call on steep slope. Anything that's 412 pitch to higher. And sometimes people will put them on 212, 312. We try to address all that as appropriately as needed now with codes changes. But at the end of the day, it's varying upon whatever type of building. So, you know, these buildings at Paul are, you know, these self-storage, these are going to be a lot of times metal roofs. If it's a package deal, it's a standing seam, and it's pretty much a package kit, steel frame. We see a lot of storefronts that are strip type, that have a dummy wall up front, and then they'll have a metal roof. It's low slope. I will tell you that a lot of those buildings that you look at, if you've had restaurants in there or people have put some in there, you need to check the roof, because I'll tell you that grease traps are the least checked things on a roof. And if you really want to see some damage, one of the craziest things, I saw a series of 5-gallon buckets that were kind of added on and added on. It was almost like it's a homemade septic tank for grease on a roof. And it was one of the nastiest things I've ever seen, because I got called because of the smell. The smell was a raccoon that had gotten in the grease and died. And it was around the hood. So you want to talk about crazy things. But when in the process of inspecting that, I found where those grease traps had overflowed. It oxidized the metal and rusted the metal, and the hood was about to cave in on top of this pad thai restaurant. So it was a very fortunate catch. And I have seen every type of roof fix, every type of attempt at a patch that you can think of. I've seen chicken wire put under shingles. to keep squirrels from going in. I mean, it just goes on and on. But really the main different types of roofing we've got, you have like your TPO, which is a white PVC membrane that's got scrim in it, which is a little fiber. And it's the main thing you need to know, that you'll see on it. It's white. A lot of times you can tell by the difference, but it's actually flammable, and TPO will burn. Whereas like your rubber membranes, your EPDM, it won't burn. Same thing with a product we use called Duralast. It's another white looking rolled application for flat roofs, but it's actually what you use in swimming pools, and it's a waterproofing type. So the pitch of the roof really depends.
Can I pause
Yeah,
you there for a second? So a lot of the folks here, they're very hands-on DIY people, and those that are listening here. Of those three roof types, which ones should they go on top of and which ones should they not? And is there a space, a specific area that they want to avoid? And then also let's talk about whenever you have what is called a vertical penetration, that's like the grease traps and stuff, and which of those three types tend to work better with the vertical penetration?
Well,
I'm just, hold on, there's a reason why I'm asking that.
all right, so TPO, it all comes down to cost really, because the different manufacturers all have their profit points, and the profit points for a couple of these manufacturers are the roof penetration flashings, and they'll get you on that. All of these are going to have like warranties and things like that. Some of them, they're all NDL, meaning no dollar limit, for 15 to 20 years on flat roofs. There's some of them now going to 25, and then there's some of them that have consequential warranties, which mean if this roof fails and these roof panels and these walls get damaged, they pay for everything underneath it. And it's an investment, but truthfully, at the end of the day, it is coverage. It's guaranteed protection that if it fails mechanically, they'll take care of it. Now, what that means as property owners is you have to maintain it. So sign-in sheet. If you have a property with a flat roof on it or a metal roof, something easy for people to walk on, have a sign-in sheet. That makes people more mindful that they're walking up there on your membrane roof. That means that the AC guys up there are paying attention and not dropping as many screws, or they're not dropping the cover for the HVAC unit and penetrating the membrane. So those membrane roofs are more penetrable, but it all depends on the situation, and that's why they're all made, is because each roof is a little different, and people's adversity to risk is a little different, and what they want, how long they want to gamble and take a chance on doing it.
Well, the challenge too is if they get up there and they can't reach the top of those big giant HVAC units, they'll pull some sort of a ladder or something. And if they don't know about those rubber membrane roofs, they will set.
They do it on ballast roofs a lot too, because you got the ballast or the rock covered roofs, and the reason the rock are there is for two things. One, that provides weight to hold it down, but it's also providing some protection of that membrane so that it's not taking the UV rays, because that's what's eating up every roof system that is around, is the UV. So as far as a maintenance thing with flat roofs, the main thing you got to watch out for are your seams and your penetrations, and make sure that your flashings are done correctly, and make sure that it's up to everything's.
So we have been seeing a lot of HVAC condensation, and people are coming back and saying, "Oh, it's the roof." Is there from the point of an investor who's looking at this, buy this property, on those three types, where those penetrations meet, is there something that they can look for specifically that's going to identify, I probably need to get Bo to come out and look at this further?
Yeah.
None of y'all want to be roof experts, but what I'm trying to do is help you know enough for you to be dangerous, to know when to call Bo and when for you to go, oh, that's fine.
So if you see a property, I referred to it earlier as black mammy, that's that old tub of tar and stuff like that. If you see that on a property, they've had some issues, and they've had somebody up there that doesn't know what they're doing to try to stop it. Black mammy, black tar is exactly that. It's an asphaltic cement, and it's going to break down and it's going to crack over time. It's going to let water in. You want to use silicone above, you want to use asphaltic cement below, in between the shingles. But if there's shingle damage, truthfully, what we need to do is look at that, scope it, and there's probably a pretty good chance that there's some damage there, because when you buy property, and you see a flip shingle or a shingle that's broken or whatever, there's more than one. That flip shingle is representative of wind damage, and that's covered by your insurance. So make sure that you have good insurance. I'm not going to name any names on air, but their insurance companies are not created equal.
I'm not naming any names, but I'm telling you that he and I have had trouble with my insurance company.
I'll just put it this way, Jake at that particular company is having a lot of phone calls.
Yes.
So with that said, insurance is different. There's possibility with series there to kind of tell people the differences in the insurances, because don't buy insurance to buy insurance. That was how I got into this business, is because people, they didn't understand what they were buying. They knew that they had to buy insurance. They saw it as an expense, and it was an expense until they needed it. But when they needed it, they wanted everything. And when they wanted everything, they didn't get everything, and they got mad at the agent. And that's what I recognize, and specifically to that extent, was there was a claim where an agent friend of mine had referred a family member contractor to this person. They dropped the ball. They lost the customer from the agency, didn't get a chance to make that money up. And it kind of gave me an aha. I was like, just got to have better referral partners for that. And so just happened to be at the right place at the right time and teamed up with them.
Thanks for watching this video. If you like what you see, be sure to follow our Generational Wealth Learning series. On select Thursdays, we offer cutting-edge industry information that would normally cost thousands of dollars. And the best part, our education is absolutely free. If you register through our events page, you can join us live, either in person or over Zoom. In the meantime, like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a beat.